Something weird happened while I walked the streets. While I took my steps upon the pavement outside, as I became aware of the fact that even though people didn't look at me like they did before I ascended the ivory tower, there was this movement always outside of my sight, either to the left of me or just above me. Turning to actually see what it was, I couldn't ever tell exactly what it was, where it came from, what it was made out of, what it could have possibly been that had begun to elude me, not only in the streets, but even when I come back and observe my surroundings. It's like the world I knew is being reconstructed. Like always outside of my sight, always calculating. But like something is lost. Some piece of what used to be there is gone and it can't be replaced. It's like the world is trying to rebuild on top of it rather than replace it, leaving it empty. Fills me with a kind of anxiety. Like my throat, my insides are just gonna light on fire. Somebody's gonna have to stomp me out. But I try to focus on these weird particles, for lack of a better word, for whatever it is. As I observe them, I can never look at them directly. Because looking at them directly, it's almost like they lose the ability to be looked at. Almost like an overlay or a ghost. Like something was there, is still there, like an impression, but it's still working. But when I don't look at it, it's like I get more of an understanding about it. I get to really notice how the particles move, how the whatever it's doing constructs itself, moves itself, replaces itself, and then keeps going. It's very strange. I want to look at it directly, but I can't. Because all of the inner pieces of whatever is missing at its core becomes less visible. So in focusing on it, but not looking at it, there seems to be a red core. And the redness almost looks like a diagram of like the earth being cut open, or a cake being cut into with many layers at its center, around its center. Something about the core of them, when they're open and when it's trying to, in vain, fill this space, it's almost fills me with a kind of dread. A very physical sensation, just seeing these white blocks try to move into a red space and just disappear. As if they're ice cubes moving into the superheated core. There's no way for it to survive in there. I'm not entirely sure what it means. Knowing what it means is just more trying to understand what happened in that tower and what kind of life I'm going to live now that I'm free of the tower and free of that damn uniform. I want to know what happened, but at the same time, I don't want to know. Not for the sake of holding off or being too exhausted to really know. It's just right now, it's almost like a holding pattern. Whatever it's trying to do outside of my vision, whatever it's trying to create, it feels very personal to see these things and somehow connect with the fact that that red core probably most likely myself trying to be normal, be something I'm not, while everything that is potentially very fragile attempts to fit me in like I belong, but I don't. And that's what's eating at me. That's why it disturbs me to see it. Even now, as I sit here, it seems coming to that conclusion was the right one. Because the white cubes stopped being white and turned green. And the core has turned yellow. So something changed. Couldn't tell you what. Maybe being self-aware changes things. Maybe. But that's all it took. The world I came from, where I had to wear that uniform, where I chose to wear that uniform, wouldn't have existed. Now black with a gray core. I don't really know what's going to happen once they come together and it can rebuild whatever it's trying to build. Whether or not whatever it's trying to build even matters at this point is uncertain. Jet black. Lighter gray core. And at this point, I'm not even sure if it's just color-coded because of the person that I'm becoming, just in observing the potential not only for myself but for the world that I came from and this world that I'm now inhabiting. None of it's perfect. Physically speaking, all of it is very hard met with pieces that don't quite fit all the time. Black outside. Pitch black. But a shining white core. Feels like my heart is racing, but my heartbeat is so calm. Feels like I'm so close to something. The light is now pouring out from the core and overtaking the outside of it. I don't know what it means. I'm terrified of what that means. What any of it means. Perhaps that's why things don't change. Just being terrified of what it means if it does change. Putting away that uniform had nothing to do with me changing. In the end, it had everything to do with me walking away. Accepting that my world wasn't perfect and the choices I made were far from it. But even more so, there's a desire since the ivory tower to really get to the core of why I'm here, why any of us are here, how that ivory tower even worked, why there was even an ivory tower in the first place. feels like a betrayal. Like by admitting any of this, admitting that I see these things at the corner of my vision, admitting that I put that uniform away. It irks me. It haunts me. It's really not as easy as I thought it would be. Even climbing those damn stairs, that wasn't easy. But this isn't that. This is having a chance to start over, for people not to look at me like they did, and to know something is off, but not knowing what it is. Now it's switching from the light, overtaking it from the inside, and the deep red core with a black outside. I have to choose. I have to make a choice. It's this or that. Neither one of them were my first choice, or my last choice. God damn it, but I have to choose. I have to choose. I'm so damn tired of things being so damn complicated for no reason. There's enough of anything for everybody to get what they want. I'm just being a selfish asshole if I say otherwise. But I also deny justice. But from what I've seen, there's no goddamn thing as justice. It's about what you choose. And I choose this. I choose the dark path. Mainly because there's no such thing as being able to run. There's no running from this. There was never any chance of running. I'll make a choice from there. won't fucking run. I know what lies on the other side. I have to choose it. Regardless of the circumstances outside of it. I must choose it.